My name's Alyssa McGrath, and I have chosen to analyze the song Bang Bang by will.i.am. This is for the course Music 3018 with Dr. Daniel Orr at Memorial University. will.i.am was born in 1975 in Los Angeles, California, USA. His birth name is William James Adams Jr. Back in 1995, he formed the group Black Eyed Peas, which launched his career. However, he has continued since then to focus on his solo career as well. Bang Bang by will.i.am was released on April 24th of 2013, which is included in his album #Willpower. will.i.am is the producer, writer, and singer of this song, but it also includes vocals from Shelby Sploin. Bang Bang was written for the film adaptation of Baz Luhrmann's The Great Gatsby in 2013 and is featured in the soundtrack album as well. This song connects to the various idioms such as the 1920s Charleston, the blues, New Orleans jazz, hip-hop, and electronic dance music. Ultimately, it traces back to the African American roots of music and their cultural traditions. will.i.am's Bang Bang has the most relation to the 1920s Charleston, which originated in Carolina. There are many features in this song that come straight from the Charleston era, such as the instruments used, like the trumpet, banjo, clarinet, drums, trombone, and double bass, their outfits, like top hats, bow ties, and suits, as well as the Charleston dance and tap dancing, as well as the rhythm, so the 3+3+2 syncopated beat. Part of the melody and rhythm in Bang Bang comes from James P. Johnson and Cecil Mack's version of the Charleston that they wrote in 1923. Here is a short clip of this. To compare, let's now listen to this melody in Bang Bang.
She lied, but I believe her. Love sick, I got that fever. Love stupid, I know it. Love stupid, I know it. I know 'cause I'm a fool in love.
They both have the Charleston rhythm of 3+3+2. The main difference is that in Johnson and Mack's version, the main instrument of use is the piano, which differs from will.i.am's version where he uses a jazz band. According to Brownell, continuities between African and New World practices can be split into 4 areas: rhythmic, organological, organizational, and movement. The 2 that connect to will.i.am's song are the rhythmic and movement continuities. First, the 3+3+2 rhythm that includes syncopation, or the offbeat, often used in African music, is seen in will.i.am's Bang Bang. It is both dotted and syncopated. Next, the continuity of body and movement connection is one of the most common characteristics of African rhythm. will.i.am includes the dance of the Charleston that has been going on since the 1920s. The continuity of movement also relates to social settings and storytelling. Bang Bang includes storytelling through the music and performance in the music video. Through the dancing of the Charleston, this can go back to social settings of the 1900s. One example of this is a 1926 video that shows a woman dancing the Charleston while teaching it to a crowd of people around her. There is a link here below the picture, and I will also link it in the description if you would like to watch it. The dance itself includes moves of the jazz era, which involve the swinging of the legs to the front and to the back. This is one of the basic gestures that is a repetitive dance pattern. Dance is something that helps keep traditions alive, especially these repetitive moves. The use of James P. Johnson and Cecil Mack's The Charleston in will.i.am's song is an example of sampling. Katz describes sampling as the digital incorporation of any pre-recorded sound into a new recorded work, and a form of musical borrowing in which a portion of one recording is incorporated into the other. What is interesting to note is that songs of the present day can take old recordings and make them sound pristine, and also can make a pristine recording sound old. Bang Bang has a mixture of this, because the Charleston sounds more advanced or pristine, but the recording overall has an older sound to it. This is found in recent popular music when trying to give it a vintage look, which is also proven in Bang Bang by the music video being in black and white. Even more interesting to note, Katz points out that the roots of digital sampling reach back more than a millennium. This is because the borrowing of music has always been happening, such as the passing along of and changing of work songs, chants, and spiritual songs. Blues is also something that has derived out of African work songs. Some of the first blues recordings came from African American women singers such as Mamie Smith, Alberta Hunter, Ida Cox, Bessie Smith, and Ma Rainey. An example of this is Mamie Smith's Crazy Blues written in 1920. We will listen to a short clip of this song. This was the first recording of an African American woman singing the blues, and it revolutionized popular music. The lyrics in will.i.am's Bang Bang can relate more to the songs of the blues, such as Mamie Smith's. Here's a particular section that is similar to Smith's.
She lied, but I believe her. Love sick, I got that fever. Love stupid, I know it. Love stupid, I know it. I know 'cause I'm a fool in love. My baby shot me down again. Shot me.
Crazy Blues includes lyrics like, "My poor love was lyin'," while in Bang Bang it says, "She lie, but I believe her." In this case, they are both about their struggles with love and lying. Components of jazz and blues can all be traced back to when the first enslaved Africans arrived to America in 1619. They brought their musical practices with them, which emerged into work songs, hymns, chants, etc. An example of a work or slave song is "I Be So Glad When the Sun Goes Down" by Ed Lewis. Here's a clip of that.
I'll be so glad when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down. I'll be so glad when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down. Right on that sleepy bus. I don't wanna lie down. Right on that sleepy bus. I don't wanna lie down.
You can hear its relation to jazz and blues music, but more so blues, as the lyrics are related to the hardship these slaves went through, just wanting to lie down, as it states in the lyrics. However, the eventual development and popularity of jazz music in New Orleans was still rejected by white supremacists. This unjust behavior is still around today, the degrading of people because of their race, class, and gender. In a 2018 interview on Good Morning Britain, will.i.am discusses the heartbreaking thoughts of people who regard slavery as a choice. He explains how his grandmother, who was born in 1920, used to talk of her grandmother, who was a slave. He explains how these people were forced into these conditions and how it's one of the most ignorant and harmful comments that anyone could make. Here is more of what he has to say.
That broke my heart because I thought about my grandma, who was born in 1920, and her connection with her mom, who raised her, who was born in the late 1800s, and my grandmother's grandma, who was a slave. And when you're a slave, you're owned. You don't choose if you're owned. When you're a slave, you're deprived of education. That's not choice. That's by force. So, I understand the need to have free thought. But if your thoughts aren't researched, that is just going to hurt those that are still in conditions where it's not choice that when they go down the street, there's a liquor store and fast food restaurants, and your education is not being funded the same way it is in Calabasas. When governments are stifle and limit the amount of money that goes to Chicago, Watts, Bronx, Fifth Ward, Mississippi, East Los Angeles, where I'm from. Right? I know because I've contributed to the ghetto that I come from, where I teach our kids robotics, computer science. If the zoning, added up to the point where our kids are getting a proper, investment for their education, I wouldn't have to raise money, use my own money for robotics programs and college preparation programs. So that statement was one of the most ignorant statements that anybody that came from the hood could ever say about their ancestors, that slavery is a choice. What are you talking about?
After hearing what he has to say, it's evident that these issues are still ongoing today. Bang Bang is also a hip-hop song. Hip-hop music, like jazz and blues, can be traced back to the slave period. Hip-hop became most popular in the 1970s and is still widely popular today. Bang Bang also includes features of electronic dance music. It uses synthesized sounds and a built-in drum beat that can also be heard in songs from the 1970s. An example of this is George McRae's Rock Your Baby from 1973. Electronic dance music has evolved a lot since the 1970s, which is evident in Bang Bang. In an interview with Wyclef Jean, will.i.am expresses that the lines between genres have been so well defined that anything outside of the norm is no longer considered black. He also says that when you think of jazz, you no longer think of black anymore. This is not okay, and it's so important to continue to address the historical racism and continued denial of African American presence. Recognizing and analyzing the lineage of their work is one step in the right direction. Thank you.